What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing them the bacon. MLB DFS video. As you can see, my voice, it's completely gone, but I wanted to bring you guys some info. I wanted to break it down if I can, so I apologize again for my voice, but we are back. So, if you don't see some things on this video, check out the website, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Check everything out there. We've got it all. If you have questions, get those down below or hit us up on our Discord, which the link is in the description down below there. But we are back. If you've never been here before, we're going to go through everything. So we're going to go through every single game on the slate or on the day. We're going to look at the pitchers. We're going to look at the bats. A little bit different than what you might be used to, but we are going to have a giveaway as well. So we are going to have 2 giveaways every single video. We're very excited. If you have questions about that, as always, down below, or you can email us, dfshelp1@gmail.com. So the 2 giveaways we always have. First one is if this video gets at least 50 likes and you've left a comment and you are a YouTube subscriber, you have a chance to win a free week. 100 likes is a chance to win a $30 free month of FTA Plus. 150 likes is a chance to win a $200 yearly pass. And 200 or more likes on any video, a chance to win a $500 lifetime pass. The second way to win, somewhere in the video there will be a keyword that I will say what the word is, and then you type that word. That will count as the first giveaway as well. So you could win twice in the same day, which we've never had before. So if you got questions, comments, concerns, you want to win, you can win every single day, multiple times a day. So make sure to hit that like button, follow us here, and make sure to hit the bell notification so you are one of the first ones to see when these videos go live, so we can help you out just as well. So we're going to see who the winner of the free month is, because yesterday's video had 107 likes with 50 comments. So let's check it out right now. You can win multiple times, like I said. The first winner, Julian Wyman, 9542. Congratulations. If you see this, like the video and email us, dfshelp1@gmail.com, with a username and email you would like for a monthly pass to the site. Now, did use the word holiday on there, but that's for the first one. We're gonna re-roll, and if the next one says holiday as well, that'll be the winner, and it could be Julian yet again. Michael Swick with the keyword of holiday. Congratulations yet again. Michael's won multiple times, like 3 or 4 times, I think. So you guys can do the exact same thing. Come back tomorrow, the next day, and the next day, and we will move on, and we will get winners every single day. So Michael, congratulations. Email me so you saw this. You've got a free week on top of whatever you have right now. So congratulations to both of you. Come back tomorrow. We can have the giveaway yet again. So we have 11 games total on the slate. It's Memorial Day. A little bit different. Games are starting early on a Monday. We're not used to it, and mostly unless you've played DFS. But yeah, we're going to break it down. We're going to look at the games that we like. In the description of this video, you can find today's article as well. So let's jump right into it. First game, Red Sox-Orioles. Cooper Criswell versus Cole Irvin. Now, we do have weather concerns yet again today. Let me know how you guys did yesterday on Sunday's slate. Acuna went down for the year with the torn ACL, which is wild because we had him in every single lineup. We had a Brave stack in every single lineup. Our top FanDuel lineup scored 192.5, I think, and Acuna was in there. So just imagine what we could have scored had he stayed in the game, got a home run, stolen base, whatever. What could have been. But today is a new day. We are back going through it all. So again, weather will be a little bit concerned, but we got Cooper Criswell here. 2.86 ERA, 2-1 record, 34 strikeouts. Game log, coming off pretty good game, middle of the road, I guess, against Tampa Bay. Bad game against Tampa Bay before that, but then a great game against Washington. So facing Baltimore, has not faced them this year. Pitching on the road, does have a 1.84 ERA, so he has been better on the road. So he's not bad. Again, we know what Baltimore can do bat-wise. Cole Irvin, 3.15 ERA, 30 strikeouts, 110 whip. The past couple of games have not been nice to him. Has not gone deep into the games. Against Seattle, 13 pitches. But he went from the... So here's what he did. He was in the bullpen, or he was a starter, which he went deep here. We see he did pretty good. Then went to the bullpen with John Means coming back. John Means left again with most likely another Tommy John or whatever it is. Now he's thrust back into that rotation. Tournaments at 7,600 I'm okay with because I think he should be a little bit higher than that. Probably looking... You would expect about 8,000. But again, he should be stretched out. Should be good to go. I don't see why not. But Boston's been hitting. They've been putting up some runs lately. The weather is a little bit of a concern there. So I don't know how much exposure I'll have to the pitching. But the bats, obviously Baltimore bats, Gunnar Henderson, Colton Cowser, Mountcastle, O'Hearn, Rushman. Those are big names. Ones I would look at, Anthony Santander's got some power. Be a cheaper option. Austin Hayes a little bit. Maybe a little bit of Kyle Stowers. It will really just depend on the lineup that Baltimore throws out. Then Boston. Obviously, you got to get some Devers in there. O'Neill, Duran, Wilyer, Abreu. Those have been the big names. What are the names that you might spend a little bit less on? Well, with Cole Irvin being a lefty, I would look a little bit at Vaughn Grissom. I would look at, I don't know if he'll be in, but Connor Wong might be in there. He could be a cheap catching option today. Rob Refsnyder, if he's in there, I don't know if he will be against a lefty. I don't mind him. So there are some bats here that I don't mind. I'm a little bit scared to use the pitching because I don't want them to go out there, start 3 innings, rain comes, boom, ruined. So I might be avoiding the pitching in this one. I might look at the bats a little bit more than I would normally, I guess. Next game, Royals at the Twins. You got Alec Marsh versus Joe Ryan. Marsh hasn't really seen him. They've really not seen much. But Joe Ryan, 99 plate appearances, 154. I love Joe Ryan here. He is expensive, 10,300. He's faced Kansas City once this year, 5.1 innings, 1 earned run. We'll see if that was in Kansas City or at home. That was in Kansas City to start the year. Obviously, Kansas City, Kauffman Stadium is a little bit better of a pitcher park, but 10,300 is kind of expensive for him. It's not the most expensive he's been this year. He was that against the White Sox, 10,400. Coming off a great game against Washington, that was a better matchup. We know that Kansas City's been hitting this year. But he's got 3.30 ERA, 64 strikeouts. I don't mind him. At 10,300, I think he's more of a tournament pitcher. I don't think I can trust him cash-wise at that price. I'm a little bit scared about that. Then Alec Marsh, 2.72 ERA. Pretty good. 8,000, you're going to save some money. Minnesota has been held runless sometimes this year to some pitchers that are a little bit inferior to Alec Marsh, we'll say. So I don't mind Alec Marsh for tournament, especially at that price. Mid-tier price allows you to go a lot of places differently. But if you're looking at bats in this game, Kansas City bats against Joe Ryan, they haven't had a ton of success, but Bobby Witt Jr. had a home run yesterday. Salvador Perez is not bad. Now, my question is, and I saw this on MLB Network, do you guys think Salvador Perez is a Hall of Fame catcher? I looked at a comparison between Perez and Jorge Posada. Posada's not in. He had 10 votes, is off the ballot after one time. His numbers are considerably better than Perez at this juncture in his career. And he didn't make it in. And people are like, well, someone's got to make it from Kansas City. That's not how that works. Just because you're on Kansas City doesn't mean you need to. It's not like the All-Star game where every single team needs to be represented. So my question of the day, do you think Salvi Perez is a Hall of Famer right now? But again, neither here nor there. I would use him if you're making a Kansas City stack. I don't know if I will have a Kansas City stack. I think I'd feel more comfortable with just Joe Ryan as a pitcher over a Kansas City stack. Pasquantino, Melendez, Michael Garcia are all going to be the very high-owned guys. You want to get a little bit lower. Adam Frazier might see a little uptick now that Michael Massey's on the IL. Freddie Furman, I don't know if he'll be in there, but that's one you could look at. Dayron Blanco, I don't mind him either. Minnesota bats, I kind of, in my heart of hearts, looking a little bit more towards Alec Marsh than them. But if you were to ask, it would be Kirilloff, Santana, Correa. Maybe a little bit of Jose Miranda could be a cheap option. Max Kepler, Ryan Jeffers, or Willie Castro. I don't mind them. I'm probably not going to be on much of a Minnesota stack today, to be completely honest. Blue Jays at the White Sox, you got Chris Bassett versus Nick Nastrini. So Bassett, we haven't used him a ton this year. We've used him a few times. We used him against the White Sox his last start. Yeah, I got to go back to the well. Again, sometimes when you use a pitcher against a team that they just saw not too long ago, the batters adjust. I don't know if that's the case with the White Sox. They are very bad. They're bad. I would use Chris Bassett again, 8,200. Does have a 4.39 ERA, but coming off a pretty good game against them. 7 innings, which is his longest outing of the year. The problem is he only had 4 strikeouts in there. You would love to see 6 to 8 strikeouts, which he could do. Is weather a concern here? Weather's a concern in Kansas City and Minnesota. This game should be good. So we look at that. I don't mind him. I would love to see more strikeouts. And then Nick Nastrini, hasn't seen them much. Just basically one start. I would look at Guerrero. Davis Schneider's one of my favorite plays. I did forget to mention, if you're new to the channel, towards the end of this video, we are going to give you the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. So those will be put there. We'll only have 10,000 simulations today because when the bulk majority of the games start at noon, there's only 10,000 simulations. But when the bulk start at like 6 p.m., that's when the simulations really shine because they have more time to run and see if there's any difference. Davis Schneider, I would look at him. Bo Bichette a little bit, I guess. You could look at Dalton Varsho a little bit. Maybe Danny Jansen if he's in there. I don't know if he'll be in there or Alejandro Kirk will be in there. That's Kevin Biggio maybe. Ernie Clement if you want very cheap options. I don't know if they'll be in there though. And then the White Sox, I don't want any of the White Sox bats. They're bad. Guardians at the Rockies. I don't think this game's... It is on there. Okay. You got Xavier Curry versus Austin Gomber. I'm not... Tournaments, I'm okay with Gomber. Curry, I don't know. Let's see. 5,000. Is he going deep? 4.1 innings. Curry, I'm okay with at tournaments because Colorado's a bad team, but this is Coors. I do not trust them. I would rather take Cleveland bats. Obviously, Jose Ramirez is hitting home runs and stealing bases this year. I would look at him. Being a switch hitter, I love. Josh Naylor, I know it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup. I don't care. I would look at David Fry. I do not mind David Fry whatsoever, especially in this ballpark. I think it'll be a cheap option. You could even look at like a Tyler Freeman, a Will Brennan, Gabriel Arias, Andres Jimenez. I don't mind these guys. Even Austin Hedges if he's in there. I don't know if it'll be Austin Hedges or Bo Naylor, but either of those catchers I think are great options here. I guess if I am looking at the Rockies bats, Ryan McMahon, Brennan Rodgers, Brenton Doyle. If Brenton Doyle gets on, it's usually a stolen base or two. Maybe Jacob Stallings. Like, there's not a ton that I love about the Rockies offense. They're bland. I would rather look at Cleveland. Again, I will let you know if I'm wrong, but that's where I would go. I'd go Guardians over the Rockies, but if you twist my arm, a couple of the Rockies bats, I'm okay with. Next game, Dodgers at the Mets. You got Gavin Stone versus Tyler Meagle. Now, the Mets have looked terrible the majority of their existence, specifically this year, and they don't have a closer. Edwin Diaz is blowing saves. He's crying in the clubhouse because he's blowing saves, and it's the Dodgers. This is a pitcher's park, so we look at Gavin Stone. That's one we look at. So he is up there in price, 8,400, 2.88 ERA. Not the best against Arizona. Middle of the road here at San Francisco. Split size, he's already faced the Mets this year. Only went 3.1 innings, 2 earned runs. I'm wondering... No, he did start that game. Only went 3.1 innings. How many pitches did he have? 72 pitches. So, wait, he 0.1. He had 0.1 fantasy points. He has not had success against them, but the way the Mets are playing, I think you could look at him a little bit. Probably tournaments only, not cash. And then Meagle, I wouldn't be looking at Meagle. We see him 7,500. Actually, he's actually been not decent. Milwaukee and Cleveland. 7,500 is not bad. Home, 225. I mean, you know what? Looking at that, that's why we do this. We dig in a little bit more. Tournaments, I don't mind him. We know that the Dodgers are a fantastic team. This will be his third start. Now, again, tournaments only for both of these pitchers. Probably look at the bats a little bit more. Obviously, Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Smith, Kike Hernandez, Teoscar Hernandez are the big ones. You could look value. Andy Pajes, maybe a little bit of Gavin Lux, Jason Hayward, Chris Taylor if they're in there. But I think Meagle could be a sneaky tournament option. Now, again, the Mets the Dodgers are a fantastic team, but they've lost some games they shouldn't have. So this could be one of those, especially being a pitcher's park. Could be a little bit sneaky option. I think Meagle will be very underowned. Mets bats, Nimmo, Starlin Marte, Francisco Lindor, as long as Lindor's not taking strike 3 pitches right down the cock. You could look at him a little bit. Maybe a little bit of Harrison Bader. I don't know about him. DJ Stewart, maybe JD Martinez against his former team. We'll see. But I think both pitchers are clearly only tournament options. You're going to save a little bit more money with Tyler Meagle. Cardinals at the Reds. Can we play this game? Yeah, we can. I don't know why it's so different where it's at, but you've got Lance Lynn versus Nick Lodolo. Lodolo coming off the IL. Lance Lynn has seen him a little bit, and Lodolo's seen about 1 start worth. Now, he has not pitched in about 2 weeks at San Francisco, kind of middle of the tier here. Coming off the IL, he's still almost 10,000. That is very expensive. Splits-wise, he has not faced St. Louis this year. At home, he's got a 4.41 ERA. I'm probably off of him. He's just too expensive for me after being on the IL. 3.34 ERA, 43 strikeouts. Then you got Lance Lynn. We see him at 7,200. Coming off a really good game against Baltimore, which shocked everybody. I will admit, I did not use him. I think I stacked Baltimore against him. Didn't work out. But then he's had these games where he just hasn't done a ton. We look at, again, Cincinnati, not this year, has not faced him. A little bit better on the road here. Tournament, I'm okay with, but I think I'd rather focus on the offenses on both sides than I would anything else. Obviously, Ellie De La Cruz, Will Benson, Spencer Steer, Tyler Stevenson, obviously, if he's in there. Jacob Hurtubise, if that's how you say his name. Cheap option at outfield. Jake Fraley could be a cheap option. And then since I don't trust Nick Lodolo as much, Lars Nootbaar, Goldie, Arenado against the lefty, Alec Burleson, Ivan Herrera, maybe a little bit of Mason Wynn, Michael Ciani, Dylan Carlson. I think a Cardinals could be an under-owned sneaky stack day, depending if you get the correct Cardinals bats here against Nick Lodolo. Because you look at this, Lodolo here, second highest price guy on the site. I'd rather pay up $500 more for Joe Ryan than I would Lodolo. Nationals at the Braves. You got Mitchell Parker versus Charlie Morton. Normally, I'm going to look at Charlie Morton a little bit, and I would look at the Braves bat. So Acuna being out is going to open up probably Jared Kelenic to start unless they've called somebody up. But Marcell Ozuna against the lefty, I was all in on a home run for him yesterday, which he did not hit, so that means he'll hit one today. Matt Olson had a home run yesterday. I think Adam Duvall had a home run yesterday. All these righty bats against a lefty pitcher, I'm back on. Maybe they play for Acuna because he's hurt, but that's what I would look at. You can look at Ozzie Albies as well, but you're going to get a lot of value. I think Adam Duvall probably maybe starts in right field since Acuna's out, because Jared Kelenic's going to play left. Ozuna is a big one, so I would be looking at the righty Braves bats. And then we look at Charlie Morton. He is 8,600, 3.35 ERA. Did pretty good against the Cubs here, 19.9, 94 pitches. He's going deep. He had 8 strikeouts in that game. Looking at this, he has not faced Washington this year. I don't mind Charlie Morton today. As long as the weather's going to hold up, which there's some rain, I'll look at Charlie Morton and the Braves bats. You got Mitchell Parker here. He's got a 3.32 ERA. Coming off a really good game against Minnesota, but then against the White Sox where he should have won, didn't do anything. And, he's had 2 good games and the rest have been blah. I'm on the Braves stack. And I'm looking at Charlie Morton. I don't want Mitchell Parker. I'm okay without Mitchell Parker. Then we got the Cubs at the Brewers. You got Justin Steele versus Robert Gasser. Steele, 77 plate appearances, 296. We look at that. 7,000 he has dropped. Like your game log starting, it was 9. He's been up and down. Obviously, he was hurt for a little bit, or for a month and a half, or a little over a month. Has not faced Milwaukee this year. In his career, hasn't faced him three starts, almost a 300 batting average. I'm probably off of Steele. I'm probably looking at William Contreras and Gary Sanchez. You can only play both of them in the same lineup on FanDuel, one being a catcher, one being your utility spot, but they both mash lefties. You could look at them. Say Suzuki you could look at. Chris Morel you could look at. Dansby Swanson, Cody Bellinger, Nico Horner you could look at. And then the Brewers bats, William Contreras, Gary Sanchez, Willy Adames against the lefty I love. You want to get a little bit lower, Jackson Chourio or Bryce Terang. I don't mind those guys. Those would be the ones that I'd look at in this game. Robert Gasser, on the other hand, 7,100, 265 ERA. He's actually been, he's had one really good start, one middle of the road, and then one not so good against Miami. I'm probably, the way the Cubs have been hitting, I'm probably off of Robert Gasser. I'm all brakes, no gas on Robert Gasser, as the kids say. That's what I would look at. So I'm probably leaning, I'm probably not using either pitcher. I'm probably leaning more towards just the offense in this game completely. So that brings us to the keyword of the day, if you're still with us. The keyword of the day is microphone. So type that in, get that in there. That'll count towards this and your comment for the first giveaway as well. So we got the Phillies at the Giants. Is this on here? So this is a game that's not even on here. If you are playing an all-day slate, you can look at this. You've got Taijuan Walker versus Blake Snell. Blake Snell has almost a 12 ERA right now. I would look at the Philly bats. I would look at Harper. I would look at Castellanos. I would just stack. I would look at JT Realmuto. I would look at Alec Bohm. I would look at all of the righties and then a couple of the lefties. This is a pitcher's park. Blake Snell normally is good. He just has looked terrible this year. That's where I would look at. And then I would look at Taijuan Walker for tournament only. I would not be looking at him for cash. Giants bats against him, honestly, none jump out to me. Maybe if the simulations have anyone, you could look at them. It's a weird time slate. Like you've got it 4:10 Eastern, then an hour later, and then an hour and a half later for the next 2 games. So I would mainly focus on Philly bats. I don't even know if you would look at either of these pitchers, to be completely honest. And then the last 2 games on the slate, you got Marlins versus the Padres. You got Trevor Rogers versus Michael King. The Marlins, they're the Marlins. Padres finally put up some runs against the Yankees on Sunday, but they are now still at home. We look at these 2. So Trevor Rogers, and there's not a ton to go off of, but he's the lowest price at 5,200. Coming off a terrible game against Milwaukee, fantastic game against Detroit. It's got a 6.11 ERA. I'm off of him. I'm looking if Higashioka is in there, would be a cheap catching option for the Padres. Tatis, Machado, Cronenworth, like Hassan Kim, these guys are the guys I would look at. Michael King, on the other hand, 9,000, 4.28 ERA, good game here, not so good against Colorado, great game against the Dodgers, good game against Arizona. At home, he does have almost a 6 ERA, and this is a pitcher's park. Miami, though, they are bad. Like, they're bad. But we look at them. We can look at the bats. If I were to look at them, obviously Jazz would be one. Josh Bell would be another one. Jesus Sanchez, Otto Lopez, Brian De La Cruz, Jake Berger. I could look at these guys. Tournaments, okay. There's only 2 games, though, so there's not much to go off of. And then, like I said, I would be looking at just a full-on San Diego stack here against Trevor Rogers, who's had a couple of good games this year, but outside of that, he's just looked absolutely terrible pretty much the past couple of seasons. If I were to take one, it would be King, but I don't know if I'll be taking Michael King or not. Then the final game, we got Framber Valdez versus Bryce Miller. Valdez has seen a ton of them. 178 plate appearances, 304 batting average, almost 22K percentage. And then Miller, 68 plate appearances, 188. And the Astros, overall this season, have looked bad. So we've got Miller here at 8,400. Not the best couple of games. Like, he's had 3 of his last 4 games have been terrible, and one was against Houston. Went 6 innings there, 4 earned runs, only 3 strikeouts, got 7.3. And that's the only time he's faced him this year. Pitching at home, 2.37 ERA. So a little bit better at home. Tournaments, I'm okay with him. Kind of looks like Morgan Wallen. Right? If you look at that, he looks like Morgan Wallen. Let me know if you see it. I don't know if you see it. Without the throw-in of the chairs off the 6th floor balcony. Not great success against Houston this year, but better success at home. 4 pitchers to choose from, 2 games. I don't even know if you'll play this night slate completely, but that's what I look at. And then Valdez, I'm surprised he's 8,200, 4.32 ERA, a terrible start against the Angels, a terrible start against Seattle, his last start. Anything goes in a slate like this, but I'm probably looking at you could look at, for Mariners, Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez. Julio had we had a Mariner stack yesterday. Julio had a massive start. 50 plus fantasy points on FanDuel, home run, couple of stolen bases, got on base. Maybe he's coming back. I would look at honestly, I feel comfortable with a Mariner stack, some sort of Cal Raleigh, J-Rod, Dylan Moore, Mitch Haniger, Mitch Garver, Ty France, Luke Raley, some sort of combination of them. I don't mind. If you think Bryce Miller's not going to have a great game and you're looking at an Astros, some sort of Astro stack. Obviously, people are going to be on Yordan Alvarez. They're going to be on Kyle Tucker, which they're fantastic options. Jose Altuve, you could look at. Bregman, you could look at. You want to get a little bit creative. A Jake Myers, Diaz, Loperfido, Chas McCormick, some sort of stack like that. You could look at. I don't know if I will have that, though. I'm probably not on them. I don't see me being on the Astros much. I honestly don't even think I'm going to play this night slate. I think I'm just going to stick with the 8-game main slate and feel comfortable with that. It starts early, so I'll probably just do that. And then after that gets ready, I'll just get ready to start the tomorrow slate for a Tuesday. So that's my thoughts on the 11-game slate. 10 of the games you can actually play on DraftKings. If you play an all-day slate, you could play the Philly game, which I doubt I will, but we will. We're going to cover right now. We're going to look at the top 20 bats as of right now through 10,000 simulations. Number 1, Davis Schneider. I'm very surprised at that, but, always a good option. Jose Ramirez has been on fire lately. Brendan Donovan is number 3. Number 4 is Josh Naylor. Number 5 is Danny Jansen. 6 is Dalton Varsho. 7 is Ellie De La Cruz. 8 is Vlad Guerrero. 9 is Jamer Candelario. 10, C.J. Abrams. 11, Bo Bichette. 12, Daniel Vogelbach. 13, Stuart Fairchild. 14, Spencer Steer. 15, Mookie Betts. 16, Alec Burleson. 17, Andres Jimenez. 18, Andrew Vaughn. 19, Chris Bryant. And number 20 right now, Tyler Freeman. Some of the stacks I do like. I love a Toronto stack. Number 1. Number 2, Cleveland stack. Number 3, Cincinnati stack against Gavin Stone. I don't mind at all. And I think number 4, Baltimore against Criswell is kind of where I'd go. So there you have it. Those are the breakdown of the 11 games on the slate. I apologize for my voice. I think I'm getting sick, so hopefully I can make a video for you tomorrow as well. That's what I've got in this video. Go check out everything in the description of this video and our Discord. Get in there. We do core plays there as well. Go check out everything. This week we have MMA is back after taking a week off. We got NASCAR, and we are going to add the truck series to it. Baseball obviously is there. PGA as well. So we're very excited. It's a new week. It'll be June already, which I cannot believe. June is right around the corner. Let's try to get 10,000 YouTube subscribers before the 4th of July. If we can do that, I will give away one $500 lifetime pass. That's what I've got. Good luck, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.